Serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 165 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of August 17th through the 23rd, 2020. My name is Tim Beeman.
My name's Ray Morgan.
And I'm Leah Metz.
And we are opening the recipe box. We are recording
That is a big box.
That is a big box. It's so big, it just makes so much noise. We are recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town in my house. We are practicing social distancing and using Zoom, sponsored by Bull's Tavern. Thank you, Danielle. Miss Aura's Kitchen is now open from 12 to 6 Thursdays through Saturdays. They have been closed since mid-March. I think they had been doing some mishmash stuff, maybe spill over onto Sweet Potato's menu, but they were actually closed. I think she said 160 days or 140 days that they were closed.
Phew.
And Sweet Potatoes, shut my mouth, is going to be opening their full menu as of right now. I am
Nice.
sure, I'm not sure of the hours, as every time I tried to get onto their Facebook page yesterday, it said it was down. I don't know why. But Vivian did post a video announcing the plans for both places this past Thursday. So those of you who have been missing the pan-fried with fat back and big cast iron skillets, that chicken, if you've been missing that, it is now there Thursday through Saturday, 12 to 6.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Yay.
Very
good to hear.
It's very, very good to hear. The Liberty Street Farmers Market at 1551 North Liberty Street started back up this past Friday. The location celebrated its second grand opening. The first one was back in 2014. Between mismanagement and other factors that led to the closing of that farmers market, they've not had but maybe a handful of events. I'd say probably less than 20 events in that 6 years. It has been dormant most of the time. And from what I can tell, the market will only be open on Fridays. Michael Hastings' article doesn't say what hours and days it will be as of right now. It just says that they were open this past Friday. So I think for it to be newsworthy like that, it's going to be an ongoing thing. So good news there, because that space had been allocated for other community things, community development stuff, but it got put on hold, and the city paid over $300,000 to make it. They spent probably $30,000 designing it. And so them being able to use it for something other than mishmash things here and there and miscellaneous events, it's good that they actually get to use it for what its intended purpose was. And it's using all local, of course, farmer people for their stuff. I know there was a farm from over in Happy Hill that actually was getting a lot of press for what they were doing at this farmer's market. So that's good news. And it's right past, if you're coming from downtown and you're on Liberty Street, as soon as you pass 14th Street, which is the street you will turn right on to go all the way to the end where Zesto is. But if you pass that, it's right on your right before you get to 52. So, speaking of Michael Hastings, he did an article on my pal Simone Vici Domini and his wife Luciana, who own BLL Rotisserie Factory. We went there on Friday and it was jumping, and I heard more than 3 people say, "Hey, can we get your autograph?" They were joking with Simon, but people were recognizing that they had gotten a write-up, and Simon said it was a big help for them. So good.
Awesome.
Camel City Barbecue Factory, constantly trying to keep everyone safe, has, in addition to installing hands-free wash stations in the vestibule when you walk through, they also have installed automatic hands-free instant thermometers. So they will be, you can take your temperature upon arrival, and it gives you a green light, I guess, if you are good. And I don't know if it turns red because all the ones in the video, they all passed. So, so I don't know if it goes red or it just sounds the alarm or like punches you in the face with one of those big punching bags that come out of it or something.
A trap door opens up.
Trap door. Yeah.
Nice.
So, but good for Steve Dumas and his crew over there for trying to keep people safe. You know, being innovative in this time of crisis. So here's one. I didn't mark it on the list, Leah. I have to go back and change it. But as of Sunday, August 16th, this is from Carmine's. Their dining room will close for dine-in service. This decision has been made with a heavy heart this is from their Facebook page, for all of us at Carmine's, as we are very excited about restaurant life returning in some kind of normalcy after the initial shutdown due to COVID-19. As much as we love serving all of you within the heart of our restaurant, we have to put your health and well-being above all else. Equally important is the health of our staff and their families. With the consistency or the constantly rising numbers of COVID-19 cases within Forsyth County and surrounding areas, we no longer feel it is responsible or safe for us to continue dine-in service. Another recurring issue with dine-in service is that Carmine's requires mask or facial covering per Governor Roy Cooper's executive order. We have enforced this order to the extent of our ability in order to protect our guests and staff. However, many people have expressed their discontent with this choice and or enter the restaurant without a mask or facial covering, which causes us and our dine-in guests to feel unsafe and causes issues between our staff and guests. Regardless of that, we are no longer offering dine-in service. If you choose to enter Carmine's Italian restaurant to pick up a takeout order, you must wear a mask or facial covering. Otherwise, we are offering curbside service so that you do not endanger any of our other guests. Because they didn't say this is my words, because you are an asshole.
Tim, I feel like you're kind of holding back a little bit there. How do you really feel?
If you choose not to wear a mask, that's fine, but don't go anywhere. Stay home.
Right.
Truthfully.
Please.
I mean, if you're going to go out and put everybody else at risk, wear a damn mask or stay in your damn car. Quit being an asshole. Anyway, they continue saying, we look forward to continuing to serve you and your family with takeout, catering, and delivery service for the time being. You can visit our website here for links to our delivery services. This is, again, from their Facebook page. They give their phone number for takeout orders. Thank you for understanding as we are trying to do what is best, not only for us, but for our community. We appreciate your continued support and hope that all of you stay well and stay safe. Sincerely, Carmine and Sarah. And I commend them for that. If people are being assholes and they feel like it's putting everyone else at danger and you're just not going to control that, then quell it however you can. Now, hopefully the takeout will continue for them well enough that whenever things do start to subside, if they do, then they will be able to open back up and people being assholes won't have to worry about wearing a mask at that point. Let's hope.
Yeah. I have to stop myself from blasting people about the whole mask issue.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, people. The folks are going, you're infringing on my freedom and on my rights. Am I infringing on your freedom and your rights to require you to wear a seatbelt in your car? And that I can actually get you, well, as a police officer, you could receive a ticket for driving around without your seatbelt. We've got all sorts of safety laws in our country. This is another one. It keeps us safe.
Yeah. So
why
What if the restaurants decided, well, you know what? Making us wash our hands before we cook your food is infringing upon our rights to be filthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what if they stopped washing their hands before they made your food?
It would be, we would have already had other pandemics spread all over the country.
Yes.
You know, these are basic things that we do because we actually care about the people in our community, in our neighborhood. We want to do the right thing. I have been saying repeatedly, it's the Christian thing to do. So if you call yourself a Christian, don't walk around with no mask on. Because what you're showing people is that I just don't give a damn about you. If I potentially have this virus, good, then you've got it too.
Yeah.
How
Misery
is
loves
that?
company, I guess.
Yeah. And it's inappropriate. You know, so it's uncomfortable. Yeah, guess what? It's uncomfortable for every single person.
Yeah.
But you get over it. You get used to it. You just do it.
Right.
Well, go ahead.
We were out gallivanting across the state this weekend and stopped at the Bright Penny Brewing in Mavane, which we recommend. But it was interesting. The sign on the door, you know, says you can't come in if you don't have a mask on. And the amount of people who did come in without a mask, but they caught you, right when you hit the threshold. Mm-hmm. And they were like, "Where's your mask?" And people were like, well, and they turned them around, and people, you know, hung their head down and went to the car and got their mask.
So
but I was like,
they were testing the waters. They were pushing buttons.
Yeah. And
assholes.
Well, right. Yeah. The staff was so nice, but it was also like, hello, where have you been for the past 5 months? Like, this is standard.
Are you just now hearing about this? Is this brand new for you?
Come on, people.
I've been volunteering with a clothing closet up here in Mount Airy, and 2 weeks ago on a Friday, we set up clothes out in the parking lot because we're still not allowed to let people into the building. But they'll let us do it out in the parking lot with 2 provisions, that folks wear masks and gloves. Because they're going to be touching the clothes. We want them to wear gloves. We recognize that most people don't have gloves. So we're providing the gloves for folks, but we're not providing masks. And there's big signs, must wear mask and gloves. People walking, it's like, where's your mask? Oh,
I didn't know that meant me.
It's in the car. Yeah, go back to the car.
Yeah, go get it. Hello.
I'm really not trying to be a jerk. These are the rules. Follow the rules.
Yeah, I don't want to get sick. That's the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, if the rules said you had to sacrifice your firstborn, then I would push back on the rules.
Yeah.
But wear a mask because you're trying to be safe.
I can see that being a slight inconvenience. This is not a slight inconvenience.
Well, and the sooner we conform to just wearing your mask, the sooner we can get to a point where we don't have to wear them.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, exactly.
Amen, sister.
Come on. That one kid that's ruining recess for the rest of us.
Oh yeah, the one kid is causing a problem, so all the teachers go in. La Coretta posted around 9 a.m. this morning that there would be a big announcement coming later today. I had no clue what it was, so I kept checking back, and here's what it is. It's a Taco Tuesday special for tomorrow.
Oh, that's big.
It is
that is important news. I mean, I just have to say.
It is a quesadilla tacos, slow-cooked pulled beef and cheese tacos dipped in a red chili sauce and served with a special consomme broth for dipping, and added flavor explosion.
Ooh.
So, yeah, they sucked me in there with coming soon. And this is what it is. Nuevo.
Effective marketing. It worked.
Yeah, it did. I went back. I'll know better next time. Algernon tells me that Zesto should be ready to reopen with new staff and menu tweaks sometime around the 31st of this month. His social media does not reflect that he is not open, but
Nope.
we are telling you that Zesto is not open and won't be until at least the 31st of this month. There will be some new things on the menu, some old things taken off the menu, the lower sellers that just didn't. So I can assure you 100%, 1,000% guarantee the Chubby Decker will be on there.
1,000%. Are you sure?
1,000%. You know, there's not a hint of doubt in my voice here. It is guaranteed the Chubby Decker will still be there.
Nice. What about the sun-kissed?
Oh, yeah, that'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're under contract with Pepsi and they're not getting rid of. I mean, it's Zesto burgers and ice cream, right? So, yeah, it'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. Settle down. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Whew. Okay. It'll be all right.
All right, it's time for Getting in Your Business, and this week we welcome the owner of Taste of the Triad, Miss Sabrina Wingo. Got the whole crowd cheering for you. So, Sabrina, I'm going to start off by saying I have eaten at your establishment twice this week. I have tried something that I had never tried before. Actually, two things. One more remarkable to me than the other, but both are still very good that I tried them. So let's say first, I had neck bone for the first time. I had never had that, and that was, I liked it. It had a great spice to it. It was not tough. I thought it was going to be tough, and it was not. It was very tender and melt in your mouth, and all that was surprising and very good. The other thing, the one that I think is more remarkable, and the one that everybody looks at me, because I came back yesterday with my wife, Stephanie, and everybody, whenever I said I wanted this, they look at me like, are you sure? I had never had, before Tuesday, I had never had chitlins. So,
and he said chitlins, not chitterlings.
Chitterlings.
He said chitlins.
Yeah.
Chitlins, yeah.
And she said at first, she says, I would give you some chitlins, but I don't want to send you over the top. I said, I'm here to go over the top. So
yes, she did.
So we had it, and I had it three ways. What's the young lady's name that waited on us that day, Tuesday? Shanika, yeah. She, beautiful girl. And she came up, she goes, here, I want you to try it a couple of ways. So I tried it first without anything on it because I wanted to know what it tastes like, right? I will say that it's not my favorite thing, but I certainly didn't mind it. I didn't hate it. Obviously, because I had more of it yesterday. So, I had it plain, like I said, and then I had it with Texas Pete, because I love Texas Pete on almost anything that's savory and some things sweet. And I liked it that way, but the way I liked it, and my wife liked it, and she does not like things vinegary, but we put the malt vinegar on it, and I think that was the better way to have it. That's the way I liked it the best. But the young lady we had yesterday, Kira, right? Kiri, yeah. She says, you're a bigger man than I am, because I can't even think about eating it. And so, yeah, my wife tried it all three ways, just like I did. And she's like, yeah, that's not bad. I'd have it again. It's not something probably from this point forward that I'm going to ask for, but I'm certainly, if someone says, hey, you want some? I'm not going to say, oh, God, no. I'm going to actually probably have it, because and if it's not as good as yours, I'm going to come back and tell you.
Sounds awesome. And guess what? It's my mother's recipe. So it's one of those things where if you didn't know where they came from, you probably be more susceptible to having them. But knowing where they came from, and we don't have to talk about that on a. Is this a safe show?
Oh yeah, you can talk about that. They talk about
Oh,
from the
is this
snoot
a
to
You
the
say
safe
toot,
whatever you want.
from the snoot to the toot, right? And this is definitely the toot side.
Exactly, I got you. I was joking around, but of course we know they're the hog's intestine,
Yeah.
and we do get the version that's super clean, but we clean them even more. So when you walk in the restaurant, a good testament is you can't smell them. When you can't smell them, you know
Mm.
they're clean. And if I didn't tell you what they were and you tasted them, like you said, they're not bad. So I don't eat them as much, and that's not really it's not really what we stand on in today's time because we don't like to eat as much pork as we did back in the day. Um, we're trying to live healthier lives, but it's one of those things that our customers they want them. So we go through, oh my goodness, 100 pounds per week.
Mm.
So we had 45 pounds, no 55, excuse me, 110 pounds every week. We sold out of that entire case yesterday, one day, and then we'll have them back on the menu Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we'll sell out of them. So, Tim, I think you're a trooper. The neck bones is actually one of my favorite. And again, if you didn't know, I mean, they fall off the bone, and it's some good flavor,
Hmm.
real simple. Authenticity is what we strive for. So I appreciate you coming out and trying some of the things that most people would not even think of.
Oh, I had plenty to try on Tuesday. We'll get to that in a minute. First, I want you to tell us about Taste of the Triad, what Taste of the Triad is, history, and for those who don't know, Taste of the Triad is where Bell Brothers was in Ogburn Station on Old Walkertown Road, and that was a staple for many, many years, and times and situations being what they were, things came along. But I want you, Sabrina, to tell your story because it's a very interesting story, and with a big plot twist. I want to say about. I mean, you had a. I'll let you tell it. I'm going to give spoilers, and I don't want to do that. So you go ahead and tell
I
your
don't know,
story.
Tim. I'm thinking, man, can I really set the
That's
set
a
the bar? Well, yeah, there's definitely a story behind why did I come back to North Carolina to Winston-Salem. So born and raised, graduated in 1985. Go Eagles! Born and raised in Winston-Salem, and I moved away in 85. I moved to Texas and lived in Dallas and Austin for 10 years. And from Texas, believe it or not, I made my way to Michigan and lived in the Detroit, Michigan area for more than 20 years. In that time frame, I have two awesome sons, Jeremy and Seti, and I was married in Michigan and divorced 2012. Corporate America sold hardware and software for um, a cool company and had some great friends and had a really good life. And I would come home for Thanksgiving, and I would actually have chitlins, just about, once a year when I came home for Thanksgiving at mom's house. And a family member, my aunt, she had a vision after Bell Brothers closed in 2010. And Bell Brothers was around for 45 years.
Yeah.
As a kid, we used to all line up outside, and it would be 45 minutes, and you get your table and get those collard greens and smothered pork chop, and you thought you were going to heaven. So that was a great history that I grew up in. But moving away and having a lifestyle in corporate America, I became a foodie. So I started to eat all different types of foods. It wasn't as much soul food, but when I came home, that's what mom would always make. So when my aunt had the vision, 2010, Bell Brothers closed. I think she started maybe in 2012. And it took 4 years to get the restaurant open. blood, sweat, and tears, they gutted the place. And when they opened, they were lined up around the building because everybody wanted to relive Bell Brothers.
Mhm.
And I happened to be in town the day she opened because my mother was in the hospital. And when I saw the people and the excitement, I said, you've got something good. This is going to be outstanding. And I was so happy for her. And life happened. You've got to have the right people. You've got to have the right circumstances. And the restaurant business, I think you guys know more than anyone, is the toughest business out there. Fast forward, the restaurant closed in 7 months. And I think I visited once in that time frame when I was in town. And I was broken because this was in my grandmother's name, and this was something that was in her spirit, and she worked so hard to get it open. But when you're close to the airport in Winston-Salem, that's now private, it used to be public, when all of the foodies go downtown and they go to the other spots, they don't come back to the neighborhood. They don't come back where it's not as cool looking as it used to be. There's so many choices. So she closed the doors. And one of my classmates, he called me and he said, you should really think about opening this restaurant. So I'm in my happy world in Michigan, and, I get to ride my bike and go for walks with my, music in my ears and go out and have happy hours all over town like we all do. But when I spoke to her, it was nothing but my spirit. After a 2-week back and forth conversation, I flew down and I told her if she wanted to step back, I would take over. So for 2.5 years, I commuted because I was not ready to let go of my job that brought me so much security. So in that 2.5 years, I have this staff, this team of people, what I call folks that needed a second chance in life, people that could not necessarily go to all of the fancy restaurants that we've gone to and all of the foodie cool spots and get a job. So when I think about my chef, Corey, Steve, when I think about Shanika, when I look at those guys and say, they didn't have a job. They started with me May 2017 and still with me, blood, sweat, and tears. I could not close what we now call the taste of the triad. So my vision, when I opened the doors, I looked at the walls. I said, I don't want my place to look like the country soul food or comfort food restaurants. I saw an opportunity for art and community. And I said, if I'm in what we call the hood, or I'm off the beaten path is what I love to call it, I want to have something to drive people to our place. So number one, authentic soul food. When you think about neck bones, you're like, I don't want to eat neck bones. But if you think about meatloaf, which is another thing that Tim really liked.
Oh, God.
Meatloaf and the mashed potatoes and the mac and cheese and the collard greens cooked with smoked turkey. So those are some of the basic authentic items that we love and that our customers have grown to love that we have every day. So it's really tough to make this a short story, but I'm getting close, Tim, to landing the plane, to how I ended up here last October permanently. But it was really all about the people that worked with me, not for me. This was a team. They had to do this. And when we talk about team, my mother and my father, they ran the business. The 74, 75, now 76-year-olds ran the business for me half the month when I was in Michigan. So I would fly, get off the plane, jump in an Uber. I might have a conference call, or I might be working on a proposal for my job in Michigan. And I would come to the restaurant, drag my suitcase in and high five the team. And then I would look at the numbers, the inside game, and say, man, this is a tough game. But it's my mantra is great food, great service, and consistency. And then my personal mantra is slow and steady wins the race. So it was something about the people and something about the food that told me I can't quit. I can't not invest my retirement into this community for my team, for my family, based on a vision that my aunt started in 2000 after 2010. So we had some school contracts, and by the grace of God, that's what kept us open. At one particular time, school year 2018 and 2019, we fed more than 1,400 mouths per day from two charter schools. So we're talking about 5 a.m., 2 vans, a team of up to 15 people, making breakfast, 2 vans, different directions, unload, set up, feed, come back, team is cooking lunch. Load up, go back, feed kids. So if you could imagine me up at 2 in the morning, extremely excited if I wasn't here to say we've got to make sure we hit our bars, So throughout the 3 years, the outside game is actually what kept the restaurant open. And thank goodness for those schools that gave me the opportunity. And last year, some unique things happened. I didn't bid on one school, and the other school that I bid on, they gave me a verbal yes. Something happened. They ended up opting out of the school nutritional program. And after it was too late for me to bid on anything else, they told me yes, and then they came back and said, sorry, things have changed. We're going to do something local. My heart dropped.
Aren't you
and
local,
I was
though?
actually, pardon me?
Aren't you local?
Well, they're in High Point. So they were going to do something with some smaller restaurants. They literally disbanded the entire program that they were under.
Okay.
They decided to do something, and when they did that, we were poof.
Yeah.
No contracts.
Yeah.
So I got that news when I was in California on vacation with my 2 sons. We were packing up to leave the hotel, and I had already decided to resign from corporate America in September. So this was last summer. And I had to drop everything in front of me, and I dropped to my knees and said, I don't have any more money, of Sabrina's money, to continue investing. What are we going to do? But guess what? I started slow and steady. I have to leave corporate America. So I decided to resign in September, the same pace, and I moved home last October. So full circle, 2019, after being gone since 1985, I moved home and became the full-time restaurateur. I feel like I need to take a break because that was a lot. And
That was a lot.
I tell the story, I'm thinking, wow.
No,
That was a lot.
and that's what I asked for. I wanted wanted the story. I'm sure in all that Ray and Leah come up with stuff to ask you to kind of offset the give you time to breathe.
Just to take that in, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
So
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot to manage. How did you, in that time, take care of yourself?
Well, sometimes when you don't realize how hard you work, when I would get off the plane and the Uber would drop me off in my garage, sometimes I would cry right there in the laundry room to say, I made it home, and I'm exhausted, mentally, physically exhausted. And I would just go get in bed, and that was my happy place, just sitting still because I worked so much. So taking care of myself, I don't know if I did as good of a job as I could have, but I enjoyed doing what I did, and I loved my corporate America friends, and I loved my family in Winston-Salem. So I just made it happen. Autopilot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little
Sometimes
bit of that.
Yeah, sometimes we get going so fast, we don't realize how fast we've been going until, a book closes, or you shift gears and you're like, wow, was I really doing all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, smelling the roses is something that I'm actually doing thanks to COVID. I think we're all doing a lot of that because we've been forced to, slow things down.
Mm-hmm.
But if it wasn't for the people that I looked at and promised that I want to be a part of you having a better life, that I don't know if I would have made it based on the financial impact, but we did, and we're actually doing okay. We're actually doing okay now.
Well, so you're on my side of the list that we check every morning, and I've got to get over there because every time I see the mac and cheese pop up, I'm like, oh, why is she taunting me with that again?
And it's damn good, just so you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a guy come yesterday. It's a guy that I met, just passing through another business, and he said, I'm going to stop by because I get my mac and cheese from KFC. And I said, well, come by and get some mac and cheese. He came by and he got some and some potato salad. And he sent me a text message and he said, oh my God. He came back and got a second side of mac yesterday. So, Leah, that's a good sign that you have to get over here and try the mac and try the collard cabbage mix and the yams. Tim, tell them about the yams. That's something I don't believe you really like.
Right. So we have talked about on the show how I am not a fan of not the restaurant. I like the restaurant, but the food, sweet potatoes, right? I just do not like them. I think it's a waste of my time. But I really enjoyed the yams, as they call it over there, that I tried. It was sweet yet not too much so, and it was I would have eaten a whole bowl of those. I truly would have.
Yes, that's something that's another popular item. The basics, your mac and cheese, your greens, your yams, your mashed potatoes. Tim tried fried okra. He thought that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And the meatloaf looks pretty good too. So to me, it's meatloaf and mac and cheese on a rainy day, which the rest of this week is going to be that. So
mm-hmm.
Plenty of great excuses to go.
So I hope to see you. The meatloaf is actually the best-selling food, the meat item that we have, the meatloaf. So that's one of those. I mean, I get my construction workers or just some of the folks passing through. When they come in, meatloaf. Meatloaf, baked chicken. So, every day we're serving up just some good, authentic soul food. And again, landing in October to me was almost my first day because I had to start the inside game. The outside game kept us going. And when I looked at the walls, I looked at the art. We've had some really cool events where we've had artists come out and some, poetry and some stand-up and some gospel music. But we had to find a way to structure what we were doing. So I have a larger room, and we call it our event center. And Tim, I think this is where we ate. Yeah, we ate in what I call the Black Room the first day.
Yeah.
And we used to do live jazz. If anyone wants to go out to the Taste of the Triad website, you'll see a video that this really cool gal shot. And it's talking about live jazz and Sunday after church coming out and having some catfish or some fried chicken or some oxtails or some chitlins, and listening to live music and just congregating around really good people. And boom, COVID took the congregating away, the fellowshipping, and people we took for granted coming together, and some of the basic things that that life brings our way were taken away. So again, the inside, what do we do to brighten things up? So as we speak, I've got a guy that his name is Artist Ramon. He's outside and he's doing this amazing mural on the outside. Tim, you got a chance to see that vision. So we're looking at inside outdoors, making it prettier on the outside so we can have a few tables. We're going to have a community event next month. And so most of our customers are taking their food to go nowadays. Probably 80 to 90% to go on Sundays. We have a few more that dine in. But that's when you're off the beaten path and you, our clientele that comes, they may come from afar. Some take the food with them. A few of them like to dine in. But we will have folks that will come and get 6 dinners, 4 dinners, and they may get food for a few days, take it home, and they've got their comfort food because they don't want to cook as much, but you're not getting out as much. So that's what that's our concentration is. We're having a wedding over here in October. I had a gal yesterday ask about doing her wedding reception. So we're going to do a wedding and a wedding reception in the event center and open the restaurant up. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be creative, art, food, community.
So
and that's what we're doing.
Sabrina, do you think that the term soul food, as opposed to Southern cuisine or something like that, do you think that creates a stigma? I'm going to just come out and say it this way, but for white people?
Sure.
Yeah, because
perfect question.
Because I've never been opposed to anything that says food, right? I don't care if it's soul food and anything like that. So I like food, but I think a lot of people, and not just white people, black people too, that the term soul food scares them because they think of chitlins or just oxtails and things like that. But here's the thing. I grew up in West Virginia. We had one black family there, and we had meatloaf all the time. We had mac and cheese all the time. We had greens all the time. We had black eyed peas, although I didn't. My mom was more of a pinto person. So, but I had all this stuff, so I didn't know when people said soul food, I thought it was some exotic something, and it's certainly not that exotic. In its core, it's not. It's the stuff that I grew up on anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What I heard you describing was comfort food.
Exactly.
Perfectly said.
Yes.
Comfort food. And, so the term soul food that, when I think about, before my time, you're thinking about a lot of pork. You're thinking about a lot of the food that African Americans, or maybe even at some point the poorer community, ate. Those were the items that other people did not want to eat. And so the way that I was raised, where you're thinking you're calling it soul food, it was just food to me.
Yeah.
And today, when I think about Bell Brothers probably had 50%, easy 50-50 black and white people, because it was comfort food. If I want a pork chop and smother that pork chop, that to me is not soul. It's just cooked, it's from the soul. It's from the heart and soul.
Yeah.
but it's excuse me, Southern cuisine is what we um, call the restaurant, Southern cuisine. But again, with COVID, I think about all of the new clients or customers that started to come in because you're sitting at home. You're thinking about all the fried chicken and the fast food that you've eaten for so long. And if I have to be at home in front of the TV and really concerned about my health, I'd like to have some comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
But Tim, you know, based on what you just said, I think with all of the foodies that we have out there today, if you say the word soul food, they're thinking, yeah, that is a stigma. But if you tag meatloaf and mashed potatoes and mac and cheese, and you tag that with the word Southern cuisine, I think more people will gravitate to that model.
Sure. And yeah, and my thing is, I think a lot of it is, when they say soul food, and somehow soul, just like urban, somehow gets associated with the African American community, and I don't know why, because we live in an urban environment, and we like comfort food, and we all, whether we're religious or not, because I'm not, but I think we all have soul as far as our inner being and what makes us, right? And I think that people hear the word soul and they automatically assume, no, this is not for me. But I beg to differ. I had this stuff Tuesday and yesterday, and I'm going to have it again. I'm going to have it after that. I'm going to have it again after that. And I just think it's food. It's Southern cuisine. Although you can get mashed potatoes and fried chicken and in the North, it's still a Southern thing. But comfort food is, I think, the perfect description, because you know what? It was comfortable to eat. It was comfortable afterwards. I felt good. I was like, I had good food. It wasn't, oh God, I had intestines. Like I told my mother, and she freaked out, even though one of her favorite things is liver. I'm like, that's even worse. The liver is the filter of the body.
Yeah.
Every bad thing goes through the liver. Everything. Every bad thing goes through the liver. But she loves livers. Okay. You can, and you can, all you want, but I know you eat worse shit than I eat.
And thanks for saying that. Skip me with the livers. Yeah, absolutely. We don't have that as often, but we have a lot of liver lovers.
Yeah.
Still out here.
One of the descriptions that I remember about Bell Brothers was it was your basic meat and two place.
Yes.
Are y'all doing the same kind of thing?
Yes, we are. That's a great question. Meat and two sides, bread and a drink, or meat and two sides. So if you're getting meatloaf, two sides, that's $9.99. If you're getting our pork or beef ribs, two sides, bread and a drink, that's $14.99. The oxtails, tell you what, the price and the comfort taste that you get from the oxtails and from our ribs for a $15 dinner with your sweet tea or your sweet tea mixed with lemonade. I mean, I tell you, price-wise, and that's what we're trying to do. If you come to Ogburn Station, if you come, off the beaten path, you want to provide a really good food experience with great service, and it's affordable. So we're open until, we started opening, stand open until 7. We were closing at 6. I went back to 7 last week, and we're open every day except Monday and Saturday. But futuristic, I'd love to get to a place where I have more people, more diversity, where they're coming to get what I had one customer say, their supper, or their dinner. And we'd love to say we're going to start staying open until 9 o'clock. So that's what we're thriving for, is to have more diversity, to have a cool, warm, comfort atmosphere that will bring people to this area to try the food, just like Tim. And Tim, I thought it was so cool that you brought Stephanie, and I remember Stephanie's name. You know why I remember her name?
Yes.
So he brought Stephanie yesterday, and they had dinner, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, to your point, it's really not that far to get to you. If you're downtown, it's what, 15 minutes at the most?
Not even that.
10 to 15 minutes.
You drive straight down Liberty Street, right there.
Yeah.
Even if you miss Old Walkertown Road, you have the little connector there from when it becomes Old Royal Hall Road. Turn right there. It's right there. You're not gonna miss it. Just go. But here's the thing, though. The reason I don't want to go get food and bring it home from there, I want to eat there. I told you the story. I like being served, so I like to be there. But the other part is, I live about 15, 20 minutes away from there. So if I get it, then I'm running the risk of it being not it's going to be fresh, but it's not straight off the plate, you know. It's I'm running the risk of taking my time, so or not getting the best experience that I could. That's why I choose to eat there. Yeah, I want to get it while it's hot. So,
and we've got the cafeteria line, guys. So it's definitely hot. You can see your food. That was another interesting thing during COVID when we were stuck in the house, and the taste. We remained open, but we had clients that would come. You know the corporate America thing when I say clients, guys. Please forgive me. When our customers would come, you know, they could see their food. You could get out the car. You could do curbside or call in and have us bring it out. But people were excited to literally walk in and say, "There's cabbage." You know, there's
that looks
food
good
on the line. Yeah, and I can look at it and pick out some extra sides and have a 5-minute experience out of my car before I have to go back home.
Yeah.
And not slamming any other cafeteria style restaurants, but going through your line is not the same thing as going through their line.
No, I would agree with you. But yeah, I definitely want you to get your tray and or stare at that menu and stare at that food and feel really good about what you're getting. The spices and the seasonings that we use, when I tell you how expensive it is to make macaroni and cheese look like that, Leah, you know, there's definitely some heavy cream action going on. So just know it's everything that you see, but we pride ourselves in just trying to keep the place nice and clean, and having that line just looks solid when you walk down.
So tell us a little bit about the sport room.
The sport room is something that I'm excited about what's going to happen in the next month as well. So we've got a large TV and we've got some tall table and chairs back there. Had a Super Bowl party and just wanted to have a place where we call that the Red Room. So if I have, the Winston-Salem State girls basketball team, that was pretty awesome. They came out and surprised us for lunch. So that's where we seated them. Had a marching band come up from Raleigh and stop through, and we seated them in that room. So I've got the entertainment, the larger room, and then the sporty room. We've got original paintings of Michael Jordan, Chris Paul, Big House Gaines from Winston-Salem State University,
Russell Wilson,
and Sabrina's a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah.
So there's like a sweet Mean Joe Green painting in there.
Nice.
Tim, I think you like the Steelers. I think he's a Steeler guy. So yeah, some original sports art in there.
He's got to get the terrible towel.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got it bad.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's playing with his terrible towel. Yeah.
Wave the magic wand.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's one of my favorite rooms. It's smaller. I think we see the total capacity now of 70. Believe it or not, it was 140. So that room, if I have a group of 15 people, less than 20 that wanted to have a social distance gathering, I could do that, or dinner, or that's what that's all about.
And you have new art that's going in the sport room, right?
Yes, a mural of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Those should all be done by the end of this month. I'm so excited. I've been wanting something Kobe, because Kobe was my father, rest in heaven, his favorite basketball player. So I've always been a Kobe Bryant fan. So that was so devastating.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to find someone to do art around Kobe. So Ramon, who's doing the mural outside, is going to do a mural on the wall. And I tell you, when you say I'm doing a mural of Kobe and Michael Jordan, that means you want to hang around for a while, because you can't take those with you.
Right.
Can't take the wall.
Yeah.
So that means I'm planning to stay out in Ogburn Station for a while, guys. But I'm excited to have that come to fruition. And we're going to have a cool event next month. And I hope that you guys will help us share that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We will. So I told you when I was there Tuesday and yesterday, but especially Tuesday, 'cause it was about a 2-hour meeting. We were
I know,
there.
it was.
We walked around the building. We talked about ideas. You bounced some things off of me, which I'm rather large, so it does really bounce off of me. And it was just a pleasure getting to know you and to talk with you, and I just really appreciate the time that we had, especially on Tuesday.
It was a great time, and as you guys can see, I am a talker, but it's a lot of passion. And Tim, you made my day. I mean, we couldn't stop. We
Right.
just kept going, and it was food and conversation, and it was refreshing to have someone outside of what I'm doing, take a look and offer some great feedback.
Yeah. Well, tell us. I mean, we've talked about Ogburn Station. We've basically talked about where it is. What's the address for Taste of the Triad?
Taste of the Triad, 4320 Old Walkertown Road. And we're actually right down the street from Pulliam's Hot Dogs. And there's a lot of people, they've been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
I can take a walk to Pulliam's and get a great hot dog and some chips. So we're right before you get to Pulliam's. Right down the street, around the corner from the Winston-Salem Airport. We hope to actually meet some new clients or customers, some new family members. And Tim, I think you caught on to that.
Yes. Yeah. When I was there, Kiri, right? I said her name right.
Kirian.
Kirian.
Mm-hmm.
She, when she came through, she said, "Welcome, family." And every time she addressed us, it was, "Do you need anything else, family? Do you need this, family? Do you need that, family? Can I get you this, family? How is everything tasting, family?" So you don't feel like you're a customer. You feel like you're taken care of. You feel like you are family. You feel like this is where you need to be. And Sabrina, you have done a fantastic job in creating a family-like atmosphere, not just for your employees that I know you call family, but for the customers that also come in. We feel like family too.
Hey, that means a lot. And everyone that walks in the door, we have so many of our family members that come 2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And when they walk in the door, you may not know their name, but you know their face. And that's what really feels good about what we're doing. And even if this is financially, this was my burden, you know, it's so many people. Without my my team, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't want to be here. So every penny, every dime spent to help people believe in something, again, off the beaten path that was so popular many moons ago,
Yeah.
has been worth it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, for giving me this platform to share. And if anyone would like to give us a call and, you know, ask a few questions before they come out, if you don't mind, I can share the number.
Sure, absolutely.
It's 336-448-5932. That's the number directly to the restaurant. But feel free to inbox me on Facebook, Taste of the Triad. And the website is www.tasteofthetriad.com. I'm old school, so we do have Instagram for all of our young folk. And it's, again, Taste of the Triad. You'll see a lot more on Facebook. And we're starting to ramp up the website, Tim, because there's the folks that are not getting out as much or discovering new and different places to dine. They visit websites a lot more. So please check us out any way you can. But more importantly, we hope to see you in that cafeteria line asking for some meatloaf or chitlins.
Absolutely. And I've already told her, Leah, that we would be talking with her about her social media and stuff. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and I'm definitely going to come by and get some meatloaf and some mac and cheese. So
Sounds awesome.
yeah, for sure.
I highly recommend.
Good.
So
Yeah,
what are the hours, Sabrina, one more time?
One more time. Monday and Saturday, we're closed. We used to do a really cool breakfast Saturday morning. We started from 9 to 1, and then we did a light lunch. Since COVID came about, I've been closing on Saturday, but we've got a lot of customers that missed the breakfast, so we're thinking about trying to infuse that during the week. But 11:30 to 7 weekdays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday 11:30 till 6.
Awesome. Well, you guys have any other questions for her before we let her go? Sabrina.
I'm just really impressed with what you're doing, and certainly wish you all the blessings possible.
Yeah, Ray lives in Mount Airy, so for him, it certainly wouldn't do him to take it home. So we're going to get him down here. We need to do a group tasting one day. The four of us sit down and break some bread and talk about more of what Taste of the Triad's doing and let them experience your fantastic food and just you, because you are an experience in yourself. So that is fantastic.
Thank you so much. And let me add one other thing. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the catering.
Okay.
Whether it's a school, it's a church, or if it's a group, even though we have the cafeteria line, we welcomed Winston-Salem Christian Schools this summer, even during the COVID period. But we created a menu especially for them, and we seated them socially distanced in one of our rooms and came out and took their order. So I have the cafeteria line experience, but we love hosting and providing that service to you where you can sit down and we'll bring your drink and take your order. And we're looking for churches, more people like Love Out Loud. We have a great partnership with them where we fed up to 400 in the community for weekend meals. So we still cater, whether it's outside or if you want to do something inside. So please keep us in mind. If you're a nonprofit and you need to call on someone to provide meals, those are the breath of the small businesses and all businesses right now. So again, guys, I look forward to meeting Ray, Leah, and having you guys out for some comfort food. And this platform, first podcast, I talk a lot, but I do appreciate you guys allowing me to express what this means to me and my Taste of the Triad family.
Well, Sabrina, thank you very, very much for everything that
Very
you are
much.
doing. We are glad that you're here. We're glad that, it was scary, I'm sure, but I'm glad that you made that jump and you're now here with us. And many, many, many happy years over at Taste of the Triad. Ladies and gentlemen,
Awesome.
Miss Sabrina Wingo, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
That was awesome.
Yes.
Now I've got to go.
No, I keep seeing the she posts the mac and cheese and the meatloaf, and I'm like,
Yeah.
gotta get over there
Yes.
for sure. I keep meaning to go.
So, Tim, what sent you there? That's not your side of town. What made you go over there?
Well, I also am the host of the Eat, Drink, Triad podcast, the part of the Triad Food and Beverage Coalition team.
Mr. Algernon?
Yeah, Algernon. And she's scheduled to be on that show this week as well.
Cool.
So I had met her back in, I think, February when I was at Zesto, and she came in to talk to Algernon, and he introduced us. And I was supposed to go over and try the stuff and do an article on it for the blog, and that just didn't happen because about March everything started going south. So
Right.
When we cranked up the Eat, Drink, Triad podcast, she came up again. So I'm like, well, she called me. She goes, how about coming up here and I'll feed you and we can talk about what's going on so you have an idea what to talk about when we do the podcast. And I said, sounds good.
Cool.
And since,
You're like, yeah, feed me. That sounds good.
yeah, I never turned that down.
Okay.
But
Twist my arm a little harder. Okay, I'm coming.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, and it was just we really did. We sat down for like 2 hours and talked and ate, and we walked around the building, the whole building. Talked about murals and what she plans on doing to the outside of the building. It was just she is a fascinating person. Ray, I think she's your age.
Well, she said she graduated 85. I graduated 84. So,
yeah.
yeah, we're a year apart.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it was just a great time, a great conversation. So I really implore the listeners to get by there and support local, but also eat damn good food.
I'm glad you brought up the stigma of soul food.
Yeah.
From a marketing perspective, she doesn't need to market herself as soul food.
No.
Comfort food.
Yeah, comfort food, absolutely.
Or Southern food, or even Southern comfort food,
Yeah. Well,
which is kind of
yeah.
repetitive redundancy.
Well, and the thing is my big problem with even saying Southern food, you don't go to Mexico to have Mexican food. You go to Mexico and have food, right? You don't go to
Yeah.
Sichuan and have Sichuan food. You have food. So we're in the South. So I think that comfort is probably the best way, but they are marketing as Southern cuisine, and for people who are looking specifically for that, because sometimes restaurants with their names do not reflect on what they are inside, and
Yep.
if you're a finicky eater or not a finicky eater, you just want to know what it is you're going to be eating, then that could be a stigma. But I think that they once you've had it, any stigma that you may have had is gone.
Mm. Yeah. Well, it was funny when she was talking about the chitlins, because I have a lady that I knew years ago that we were talking about it, and she had written this poem about chitlins because she grew up. You go get the intestines, you bring them home, you clean them. She said, the whole house smells like shit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it does, because that's what they are. But
yeah,
but luckily, like she says, they get them already pre-cleaned, but for safety's sake, they clean them one more time. But
yeah.
you do not smell shit when you walk in there. It smells like good food. All right, so now let's do food holidays for this week. Today is the 17th of August. It is National Vanilla Custard Day. So yeah, and
I know a great place to go get that here in town.
Yes, and there's this frozen. So go get that, and it is, even though it's cooler than it has been, it's still hot. So go get some. On the 17th in 1807, Robert Fulton's first steamboat left on its inaugural voyage from New York City to Albany, which is 150 miles, and it took them only 32 hours. Wow, it was the first commercially successful steamboat. Its name was North River Steamboat, frequently but incorrectly referred to as the Claremont. So that was not what the name of it was. It was North River Steamboat. And that's all I have for the 17th. On the 18th, it's National Ice Cream Pie Day.
Yay! Yay! An excuse for ice cream and pie.
All at one time. And
I mean, why not?
And it's also National Pinot Noir Day.
Oh,
I can go with it.
Okay.
And tomorrow, even though they have the quesadilla tacos, it is actually National Fajita Day tomorrow.
They should have consulted with the man who ate the town before they came up with the special. Just saying.
They should have. So when you're over there getting your quesadilla tacos at La Carreta or anywhere you go for your delicious Mexican cuisine, just realize that it's National Fajita Day and order one of those too. Yeah.
And one will be your appetizer and one will be your regular meal.
Or
oh,
dessert.
I like the way you're thinking.
Or dessert even.
Or dessert.
So in 1587 on the 18th, Virginia Dare was born on Roanoke Island, North Carolina, the first English child born in the New World. However, when a ship with relief supplies returned 3 years later, the colony was abandoned and no trace of the colonists were ever found. What was it? What was it on the tree or something? Krakatoa or something. I don't know what it was. Yeah, my wife would know. But
I remember hearing something about that, but I couldn't tell you precisely.
Yeah.
Leah knows. She's the expert on that.
I have no idea. It's red.
That look on your face was like, what?
No damn idea.
Or as we say here in the South, do what?
Do what? Yeah.
Do what?
Okay.
On the 18th, in 1872, Montgomery Ward published the first mail order catalog. It consisted of one page and listed more than 150 items for sale. Had to have been very small print.
Right?
That's not much of a catalog. That's a flyer. It's a single page. We're going to call it a catalog.
Right. Well, it was cataloged items, I guess, but I don't know.
There you go. And I guess that was there first because, I mean, when did Sears start doing? Because I think they were the first major retailer to do a catalog sale, weren't they?
Montgomery Ward actually started, and then Sears came right after that. Sears started off as a jewelry store, a jewelry and repair store. Sears and Roebuck was a jewelry repair place.
Wow.
So, in Chicago. In 1891, the first rainmaking experiments in the United States were conducted near Midland, Texas. Robert Dyrenforth set off explosive balloons and artillery to try and make rain clouds. It was thought that the smoke, dust, and air disturbances might produce rain. It didn't.
Gotta have moisture in the air first.
Yes.
What?
Yes. It did not work.
The shock wave did not result in rain. Dang.
Yet nearby, several cows had heart attacks, and and so did 3 old ladies. So
Yeah. I heard the devil in the sky.
that's old Robert trying to get rain. In 1929, attracted by the smell of food in the coffee shop, a 350-pound bear breaks into the lounge at the Hotel Duluth in Minnesota. Police are sadly forced to shoot it when efforts to capture or drive off the bear fail.
Poor bear.
He
Sad.
just wanted. He was hungry. Wanted some friends to eat.
You know, it smelled good.
Yeah, I want some coffee. I want a latte, please. An Americano. In,
Maybe some of that sea salt caramel in there. I like it that way.
yeah, that's right. French vanilla. In 1953, 4 cows in Stearns County, Minnesota, were picked up by a tornado and set down unharmed. 4 picked up and set down unharmed.
4 cows. Where were they set down?
I don't know. I don't know if they were picked up and immediately set down, or let's move them from here to there. I don't know.
He just levitated for a few seconds.
That's
and we're
levitation,
like,
Holmes.
Oh.
And you know what the cows had to say about that?
What? It's probably more like, "Mer?"
What the hell was that?
One over going,
Elsie, what just happened?
I don't know, Elmer. It just happened.
It just happened.
In 2004, it was reported that it rained fish about 2:30 p.m. at Shropshire, Western England.
Something's fishy about this story.
Yeah. I was thinking the same
Weird
thing.
stuff happening over there.
It's them English, I tell you. In 2010, the USDA expanded recall of eggs from 2 Iowa producers to 380 million eggs nationwide after they were linked to an outbreak of salmonella poisoning. A much smaller initial recall was issued on the 13th. The massive recall was expanded to more than 500 million eggs by August 20th. More than 1,000 people had been sickened.
Ooh.
That would have made a big omelet.
Yeah, it would.
That's a lot of eggs.
Eggs, yep.
Eggs. A-I-G-S. Eggs.
AIGS. It's all about ice cream and the like this week because the 19th is National Soft Serve Ice Cream Day.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff right there.
It's also National Hot and Spicy Food Day. Not to be confused with International Hot and Spicy Food Day, which is January the 16th.
Yeah, I get those dates confused all the time.
Yeah,
Man,
they're not at all interchangeable either. And then it's also National Potato Day.
Potato.
Potato Day.
Potato.
National Potato Day. It's raining fish outside. And on the 19th in 1856, Gale Borden was granted a patent for a process to make condensed milk, which he had developed 3 years earlier.
And then we have Borden milk.
That's right. In 1913, candy manufacturer Clarence Crane registered the Lifesavers trademark. He invented the mint hard candy in 1912, so at least he was on, pace.
Right.
And then on the same day in Canada, an estimated 40,000 men travel west from the Maritime or the eastern provinces to help bring in record-breaking harvest on prairie farms in central Canada. So everybody working easy together to make sure that the crops were brought in.
Nice.
And of course, it's a record-breaking harvest if you have 40,000 men traveling from one side of the country to the other to help you. In 1919, William B. Ward registered Hostess trademarks for breads, biscuits, and cakes. And that was, led to Twinkies and Ding Dongs and Ho-Hos and fruit pies and snowballs and all those things.
No double entendres intended. We're just talking about food.
Yeah, that's all food.
What'd you say about me?
Yeah.
Twinkies and Ding Dongs and Ho-Hos and
But Twinkie
Where did this show go?
Twinkie put his ding dong in the ho-ho.
Oh, Lord.
Do we need to put a warning? Can you go back in and put a warning before this section? If children
Yes.
are listening,
Not
please cover their
suitable for
ears.
work.
Totally skip August the 19th.
Yes. Just fast forward past that 60 seconds.
In 1934, on the 19th, Soapbox Derby, the first all-American Soapbox Derby in Dayton, Ohio, happened. 362 kids aged 6 to 16 competed with their homemade soapbox vehicles. The national winner was Robert Turner of Muncie, Indiana, who made his card from the wood of a saloon bar.
Well,
Yeah.
Smart kid.
In 1947, Dutch chemists Joseph Ferdinand Arends and David Adriaan van Dorp, there's two A's in there, that's why I said it like that, synthesized vitamin A for the first time. Hey, Fonz.
Hey.
In 1960, the USSR launched Sputnik 5 into Earth orbit, carrying 2 dogs, 40 mice, 2 rats, and a variety of plants. Plants. The capsule was. Let's see.
they got whole
Big.
planets
It's
in
a
there.
really big ship.
It's really big. It's got dogs and mice in it, too. It's really cool.
And
That-
planets. They just
and
put
planets.
a couple planets in there. And their luggage.
Yeah,
They're like the ones from Men in Black, the little tiny
that's
galaxies
right.
that fit
That's
in the
right.
jewelry.
Yes,
It's got those kind of planets.
on a necklace. Yeah.
A necklace on the dog.
Yeah, on the dog.
Just to be clear.
That speaks.
The capsule was successfully returned to Earth the next day on August the 20th. There's no word from James Ealer here as to what happened with the dogs, the mice, the rat, or the planets or plants. So
They burned up in re-entry.
another reason why the Miss Universe pageant is complete bullshit, other than the fact that Donald Trump now owns it. In 1996, the reigning Miss Universe, I don't know her name, was told to lose 27 pounds or lose her crown.
Oh.
27.
27
Not 25
pounds.
pounds, not 30. 27 pounds.
That's crazy.
I'm surprised it's not 27.3.
That's probably really what it was, but they rounded it down. In 2002, the Smithsonian Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. put the kitchen of legendary cook Julia Child on display. Child had donated the kitchen from her Cambridge home of 32 years, and it had been disassembled and moved to the Smithsonian.
That's cool.
It is cool.
Julia Child.
Turn the oven on at 450 degrees. And put the chicken in the oven.
I'm going to have another nip of beverage here before we clean the chicken. And I am now sauced. And so is the bird. Yeah. In 1820, on 8/20, talking about sauced, in national, it's not, let me rewind and start that over. On the 20th of August, in this day, today, yes, this week, sometime, it's National Lemonade
Never.
Day. National Lemonade Day, and there's nothing in that lemonade, I promise.
I think you had some PGA
That's because
going on
you
in that
drank
lemonade.
it already.
Yeah. Jeez. I couldn't have messed that up anymore, I don't think. Oh, wait.
You could
no.
have.
Here, hold my beer.
Oh, my lemonade.
Hold my
Why are
lemonade.
you laying on the ground, Tim?
Hold my Arnold Palmer. Here.
It was really
And yes, on the 20th, also, it's National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day.
Yes, that's about like the best pie ever.
There you
Because you get chocolates and pecan, and that's just awesome.
That is awesome. It's not the end of the month yet, so you can probably get one from Dana Moody. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. She does it right.
Mm-hmm. On the 20th in 1867, the British Parliament enacted the Merchant Shipping Act of 1867, which mandated that lemon or lime juice or other antiscorbutics be provided to most ship crews daily to prevent illness. Scurvy.
So they don't get scurvy.
Yep.
Yeah. What a great name, scurvy.
I know, it just sounds awful, doesn't it?
It does.
On the 20th in 1912, the United States Plant Quarantine Act of 1912 gave the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, the APHIS, if you will, authority to regulate the importation plants, that's plants, of plants that may carry pests and diseases that are harmful to agriculture. And I think still to this day, if you go out of the country and you come back, unless you have a license to bring something back, you can't bring anything organic, plant-wise, back with you.
Yeah.
Or even peanut butter.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and that's
We had-
plant-based.
We had to give up our peanut butter jar that we had in our luggage that we totally forgot.
That's sad.
And
It was
where was
bad
that
'cause
from?
So sad.
It was from Aruba, but
Okay.
it was some it was some good peanut butter. Let me just tell you. I mean, I almost was like, well, hold on one second. Let me just like the last little bit before I give it to you. Right. That's some good
I need
stuff.
milk. I need milk. So, on the 20th in 1929, the trademark La Choy was registered by La Choy Food Products. Good for them. In 1966, the Beatles were pelted with rotten fruit during a Memphis concert. I don't know what that was all
Damn.
about. People are stupid.
Bad.
Yeah.
That was real bad right there.
In 1968, a record giant sea bass caught with a fishing rod weighed in at over 563 pounds.
Oh, that's big.
It was
That's a
caught-
big bass.
Yes, it is.
I like big bass, and I cannot lie.
It was caught off the coast of California.
Mm.
So, and on the 21st, it's National Spumoni Day. Spumoni, from what I can tell, I believe it's Italian. If not Italian, it's probably French, but Spumoni sounds Italian. It's basically like our Neapolitan ice cream. It's different flavors, but it also contains some dried fruit, usually cherries or pecans or something like that. So I looked it up, and that's what it said. Almost always strawberry and chocolate, and then there's like other flavors, like a pistachio and something else. So, on the 21st in 1888, William Seward Burroughs of St. Louis, Missouri, received the first patent for an adding machine. Actually, he received four patents on that day. They added up to 4. In 1962, McDonald's franchisee Edwin Traisman of Madison, Wisconsin, received a patent for a method for preparing frozen French fried potatoes. And I believe that McDonald's still uses that method today. In 1988, pubs are now allowed to stay open 12 hours each day except Sunday in the United Kingdom. I didn't know they ever closed, to tell you the truth.
Right?
In 1997, on the 21st, the largest meat recall in U.S. history happened. Hudson Foods closed its Nebraska plant and recalled 25 million pounds of ground beef that were potentially contaminated with E. coli.
Wow, that's a lot of cow.
And news of the ridiculous, and you listen to it completely before you pass off as not ridiculous. In 2012, Boston Market restaurants announced that salt shakers have been removed from tables in all 476 locations as part of an overall initiative to provide healthier options for guests.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's amazing.
We will leave the cream spinach on the menu. We will
or the
leave
mashed
the
potatoes,
mashed potatoes, the heavy
gravy.
buttered corn. So yeah,
fried
leave all that
chicken.
on there, but damn a
Fried chicken.
shaker of salt.
Yep. Off the table.
Get that
No
shit outta
salt
here.
for you.
That just sounds insulting.
Doesn't it?
It's like, really? That's going to make the difference. You're going to take salt away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good for them.
We said earlier.
And let's talk about where Boston Market is today.
Very light on the store
Location?
numbers. Yeah.
I mean, I only know of one.
Yeah, it's in Greensboro.
I don't know of
Yeah.
any. Yeah.
There's one in Greensboro, or was.
Yeah,
I haven't been
I
back
think
over
it's
there
still
recently.
there. It's the only one around here. It used to be on Peters Creek Parkway, where the in Parkway Plaza, where the KFC is now. They built that and put a Boston Market in it. So, yeah, that's stupid. In 8/22, on 8/22, it's National Pecan Torte Day, and it's also National Eat a Peach Day.
Oh,
I
that would
like
make a great name for an album.
Eat a Peach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure
Allman
there's
Brothers.
probably someone. Was it? Okay. I'm about to say, I think that wasn't it? Yeah.
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 That was me being a smart aleck.
If I even liked the Allman Brothers at all, I might have gotten that quicker. Yeah. On the
you gotta like good music.
exactly. So, and on the 22nd in 1865, William Shepard of New York City received the first patent for liquid soap. On
Making it easier for moms to wash their mouth out with it.
Yeah. Oh gosh. My mom. This wasn't liquid soap. This was dishwashing detergent, Joy liquid, specifically. I called my mother stupid, and
That wasn't good.
she picked me up, and I was taller than her. She picked me up and sat me on the counter, reached in, grabbed my tongue, and poured Joy liquid on it and started rubbing it in. And I'm going,
Bubbles going everywhere.
yeah, it was, I thought I was dying. And she later apologized for that, but I totally deserved it. But that doesn't mean that it was fun.
Did you ever call her stupid again?
Not to her face, and even not in private, but once. And that was, I almost went and washed my own mouth out with soap for that one. So,
Well, lesson learned.
Yes,
See? It
yes.
did its thing.
at least it wasn't Lifebuoy. Was that what it was in the Christmas Story? That the red bar was Lifebuoy?
Yeah.
Buoy, Life Buoy?
It was the soap.
In 1911, on the 22nd, Ole Evinrude of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, received a patent for what? The name
Something with
Evinrude?
roots.
Evinrude?
Oh, engines.
Yeah,
Outboard motors.
Outboard motor for boats. That's exactly right. In 1939, the first U.S. patent was issued for a disposable whipped cream aerosol container. Julius S. Kahn's patent was titled An Apparatus for Mixing a Liquid with a Gas. And it was
And spoons were no longer required for whipped cream.
right, and it was specifically concerned with making whipped cream used for or using an ordinary soda bottle. So when we say soda bottle, it's the like you make the seltzer with.
Seltzer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1950, Hormel registered the Spam trademark, first used in 1937 for its canned meat product.
Spam.
Spam. In 2004, Sonia Thomas won $500 in a trophy belt at the World Lobster Eating Contest in Kennebunkport, Maine. She ate 9.76 pounds of lobster meat, which is 38 lobsters, in 12 minutes.
Wow.
She also has set records for eating hard-boiled eggs and pork and beans. That was 8.4 pounds in 2 minutes, 47 seconds. And she only weighs 105 pounds.
Man. Wow. It's like, how did you know you could eat that much lobster? Well, I tried it before I came and I got all that down, so that's good.
Yeah. Every time, like Matt Stoney and Chestnut and all those competitive eaters, I just can't watch that. That's just gross. Just the way that they're like, yuck. No. Let's move on. 2007, on the 22nd, a 12-year-old boy in Manchester, England, was charged with assault for throwing a cocktail sausage at a 74-year-old man.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I
The
guess.
little ones.
Yeah.
The little tiny cocktail sausage, like a Vienna sausage.
Yeah, like little cocktail weenies. Yeah. Whoopsh, whoopsh.
Yeah, that's assault. That's really assault. Because, it hits and it goes.
Yeah. Then they got him for
like
a pepper. Okay, so so National Sponge Cake Day is the 23rd, and it's also World Kitchen Garden Day. It's always the fourth Sunday in August, an opportunity for people around the world to gather in their gardens with friends, family, and members from the local community to celebrate the multiple pleasures and benefits of homegrown, handmade foods. Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, I hand make my food.
Watch me hand make it. I'm going to make this one with my toes. And
Ooh.
toe jam with that peanut butter. Okay, so on the 23rd in 1859, the Fifth Avenue Hotel in New York City, the first elevator is installed in an American hotel.
Did it go all the way to the top?
It went all the way till it stopped. In 1872, the first Japanese commercial ship to visit the United States arrives in San Francisco carrying a cargo of tea.
Oh.
And that is your food, holidays, and history for this week. Special thanks to James Ehler at foodreference.com for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, get grossed out by competitive eaters, laugh at Boston Market for their non-existent health properties, and more.
Definitely more.
Definitely more. The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables Podcast Network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, the Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Apartment 5B, Beeswax, Vinyl, and more, Sipping NC, Wheeler's Dog, and Asylum, Tales from the Devereaux's Diary podcast. You can listen to all these podcasts and their latest episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You'll also find us on social media, or you find social media for all of them on that website as well. Again, it's tldpodnetwork.com. We'd greatly appreciate it if you visit our sponsors, Carrabba's Italian Grill, located at 587 South Stratford Road. This is no chain. This is a responsible family of restaurants. Carrabba's and their owner partners take the communities they serve very seriously. And for us, having Daniel Butner just be his awesome self, and he says, there's nothing special about me. I'm doing what everybody should. I said, that's what makes you special, Daniel, because no one does what they should. So, yes, Daniel Butner is fantastic. And having him
really
as our
is.
local franchisee doesn't suck for people eating there, does not suck for the community, because he does so much for them. I don't know if you saw, but he is, he's been doing woodworking, which he's working on a table for the studio, but he also forged a knife this week. Yeah, he's learning all kinds of new things. Follow Carrabba's on social media and at carrabbas.com. The Humble Bee Shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. You've not had good until you've tasted the treats and goodies that Brittany is whipping up in her shop, be it muffins, cakes, macarons, and more. Many things are vegan and gluten-free as well. The Humble Bee Shop wants you to challenge your perception of scratch made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and Instagram, or visit thehumblebeeshop.co.
SHOPPE.co.
Washington Perk and Provision Company is located at 301 West 4th Street. You'll find a little bit of everything there at the Perk. How about a chip corner? A deli to get your sandwich on the go, local fruits and veggies, meat and dairy from local sources, Bingo Bango sodas, Wolfie's custard, a wall of beer, and a wall of wine, or both together. It's a wall of alcohol. And Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they are Washington Perk or at Washington Perk _DTWS on Instagram. This is a reminder of all the listeners. It's just good practice, not now only, but for always. Wash your damn hands. Wash with warm water and soap. Wash with that soap for about 20 seconds or more. Sing the Blue Swede version of Hooked on a Feeling while you wash up. That'll get you going, right? You know, if people don't know what I'm talking about.
The old B.J. Thomas song.
This one. The Dancing Baby from Ally McBeal.
This feeling deep inside of me.
You ever say loins? Don't you say? Yeah. So that right there is already 20 seconds. So.
Ooga chaga chaga. Ooga chaga chaga.
All right. Well, wash your hands. Keep your eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send us an email, Tim or Ray or Leah at themanwhoatetown.com. It's not Tim or Leah or Ray. It's Tim at themanwhoatetown, Ray at themanwhoatetown, or Leah at themanwhoatetown.com. You can also contact us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter instant messengers. Jeez, I need a vacation.
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you.
Oh, no. I'm laughing at you.
I'm laughing at me, too. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man Who Number 8 the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who 8 the Town. And now we invite you to call and leave a voicemail, which no one has, but we wish that you would. And I know we have a couple of people that listen, at least a couple, but a lot of people that listen, and I would like to hear from you guys. You can call 336-422-6862. That's right, 336-422. Leave a voicemail, and we'll play it on the podcast. Again, 336-422-NUM or 6862. Well, thank you again to Sabrina Wingo from Taste of the Triad for being here and talking about her location. That's, again, cool. Take it from me, and I like to think that I am one of your local sources for food. You need to go try it. Go try it. My name is Tim.
My name's Ray.
And I'm Leah.
And we are closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit. Yamas. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the Man Who Ate the Town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.